Hello and welcome to She Boss Talk. I am Shantae Alrighty. Happy Monday. I'm coming on to talk about the EIDL grant, EIDL loan, and EIDL loan modifications for an increase, and specifically regarding denials that are related to unverifiable information. So recently I've received several emails and messages regarding applicants who received a letter from the SBA notifying them of their denial, and that is unverifiable. So I'm going to be talking about that today and what that means and what you can do to be able to appeal the process. So you can appeal and then you have an opportunity to get approved and funded under any of these three programs. So again, there's the advance, there's the loan, and then there's loan modification for an increase. So before I get started, just want to welcome you all in. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. I hope you're having a great start to the week. I know this process can be very challenging or has been for many. So I want to do my part to try to make it less challenging and help you get over that hump so that you can get approved and funded. Again, welcome in. Let me know who you are, especially if you're new. Just welcome to the family. I got some exciting news. I'm always wanting to share. If you have exciting news, share that too. But I received a message from LinkedIn over the weekend that says that I was approved to live stream on their platform. So that's a very exciting news for me because it's not easy to be able to get permission and you actually have to get approved to do that. So we are really have blown up across various social media platforms, but we have a sweet spot for our YouTube and our Facebook followers. So thank you all so much for continuing to support us. Thank you to all of our subscribers. If you have not subscribed already, subscribe. Help us get to that next milestone of 25,000 subscribers. We have only been able to accomplish this because of the many thousands of entrepreneurs and small businesses we've been able to help throughout this pandemic. I mean, we've been able to make some major changes happen with business. Businesses have been transformed. Businesses gotten funding. Businesses have been able to reopen. Businesses have been able to pivot. Businesses have been able to scale. And it's just so many success stories. And we just congratulate all of you all that can continue to get success in your business and also getting access to these various funding programs. So shout out to all of you all. Do hit that notification button if you want to see more videos, and also give this a thumbs up so more people see this. Do share out this video on our channel so more entrepreneurs get access to the same information that you're getting. So I'm going to get right to the point. This again is for EIDL, the targeted EIDL grants, the EIDL loan program, and the EIDL loan modification. So this is the denial for unverified information and what that means. So I know some of you all have gotten a letter. If you got the letter, let me know. It's very vague, and I may show it on here. You won't be able to see it. But I'll walk through what it really says. So it says unverifiable, and you're saying to yourself, well, what does that mean, right? So I was talking to one of my peers who got it, and I said, it would be much better if they told you exactly what is unverified, right? But they're not going to do it. So it's very ambiguous. It's just a general statement that says that you were declined or were not approved due to the fact that you have unverifiable information. Okay, now this is, and why do they do this? And you may say, especially if this is a loan modification, you were already approved for the loan, right? So, or the grant, you are already approved for the loan back in 2020. You were approved for the grant or the partial grant in 2020. Why is it now that they're talking about you have unverifiable information? Because they want you to go through the process to verify that you are a real person, number one, and verify that your business is a real and legitimate business. Why? Because we all know the rampant fraud that has taken place through this program and other programs, but it was very rampant because when this pandemic initially happened and they put billions of dollars towards these programs and they got it up and running really quickly to get funding out the door to the business owners who needed it, well, they relaxed a lot of the requirements. It was so super simple to get funding. You didn't have to provide any documentation if you were approved. So it was many people, right, that applied because people told them there was free money available or money available, and they just applied. They didn't qualify. And then there was a lot of scam artists and fraudulent businesses that were fake or created on the spot to get access to money. So it went to them instead of the businesses that need it. That is why, okay, that this is happening. So if you got the loan or you got a partial grant last year, you will need to verify your information. So that's what that they're asking for. And so what that means, it depends on your business. It's different for everybody. It could mean you need to verify your ID, your identification, your personal identification. It may mean that you need to verify your banking information. It could mean that you need to verify your business information, that you are registered with the state that you live in. So it could be a number of different things that they want to verify. They may want to verify your taxes. We know that is a big another big holdup, but they want to verify your tax returns because that's another major way that they're able to determine if it is a fraudulent applicant and business. Okay, because they have their systems, they talk to each other, and they can create a match. So that doesn't mean, we know that people do provide fake documents. That's how a lot of people were able to get through this, but eventually they get caught, right? So if they're able to pass it in the first place, and then now it's going to be harder for them to be able to do that when you have to provide the verification to move to the next step. Now, with that said, I have put in the show notes and in the description of this video. We always put resources, but what you need to do if you want to file an appeal. So for the targeted EIDL advance and supplemental targeted advance, there is a designated email address, which is a targeted advance at sba.gov. And then there is a separate email that you email if you are requesting reconsideration for the EIDL loan. So that one is pdcreconds@sba.gov. So it will always be a .gov email, but you want to make sure you're calling the right department and you're emailing the correct department when you are requesting an appeal. So don't think that because you were denied that means that you cannot be approved. Okay. So this is just a step in the vetting process. It doesn't guarantee you're going to get approved or not. But you have a very strong ability to get approved. What you need to do is you need to actually call. So that's the recommendation I gave my peers that asked me. You need to call. They're not going to give you a verbatim information in the email. It's very generic. You want to call the SBA, call the designated number for reconsideration or reevaluation, and you want to ask for tier 2. So you're probably going to get tier 1. They're the ones that are filtering out because they're so busy. They have so much going on. They're level 1 to filter out the phone calls, right? No, you want to get to level 2 and then ask them, what is the reason for your denial? What is the information that is unverified? And then, so you need that to be able to submit an effective appeal. Okay. So you need to understand why exactly were you denied. Okay. So you're denied on banking. Okay. Then when you're submitting your email reconsideration or your request for reconsideration, you're going to give them verified banking information. If it is your business that they say, well, we cannot verify your business if it exists, where there are a number of different documents that you can share with them to prove that your business exists. We know one of those is tax returns. We know Secretary of State documents, EIN documents. You can invoices, bank statements. So really you want to speak to specifically why they denied you. Now on our website at www.shebosstalk.com, we have a COVID resource tab on our website. And the main tab is our free grant tracker. So it has all the stimulus programs. It has grants, pitch competitions. But in the sub menu, we have a document for reconsideration process. You can use that to guide you for the reevaluation and reconsideration. And we give you tips on how to get approved. And the format of the email is important because you need to have certain things in the email. You can't just email them anything, right? You want to make sure that you include that this is a denial. You want to have your application number always included in your correspondence. And then there are information you want to put in the bottom, and you want to restate the reason for the denial. And then what do you have to prove that you have everything that addresses the denial so that you can get approved, okay? So, even if that's credit, that's unrelated to grants, but for the loans, then you could be denied again on credit. You could be denied because if you have a variation between what you reported in 2020 versus what you were reported or what they found on your tax while you're trying to get an increase, if it's a 25% or more variation, you can expect that you will get denied because that throws up a red flag, like, that's a major discrepancy in the income that you reported. Okay, so you will need to again be able to address that. Now, really quickly, I just want to go through the letter. I have it on here. I'll pull it up on the screen again. You may or may not be able to see it. You don't have to really worry about that. As long as you can hear what I'm saying, you should be fine. Let me see. Hold on. Let me try this again. Here we go. So I only took a screenshot of part of the letter, the part that you need to really know about. And at the top, it would say SBA has all their information, and then it has all your information, address. So I left all of that off. But this is one of the letters, and it would say regarding modification. This is for the loan modification. So this person received unverifiable information for the loan modification. And so that's what it said. If it's for the grant, it will say modification for to SBA. And it will still say the loan number, but it will say targeted EIDL grant or whatever it is that you're being denied for. It will state that. So it's saying dear to you or whoever it is. And then it goes into these are unprecedented times. And, we weren't able to approve your request due to, and it's in bold, unverifiable information. So many people have told me they were denied before. And then when I asked them, why were you denied? They say they don't know. I'm like, how don't you know why you were denied? Now, if you need more information, then you follow up with the SBA. So it's just saying here that during the loan underwriting process, so it is an underwriting process, whether it's the first loan you're going after or you're trying to get an increase, there are loan underwriters that are reviewing your application. So one or more items, it could be one item, it could be multiple items, they were reviewed and caused the SBA to question the validity of certain information submitted as part of the application. And so it's saying if you disagree with the decision, so if you don't agree, don't worry about it. But if you disagree with the decision, I would encourage you need to file an appeal, request a reevaluation or reconsideration, depending on what you were denied for. So it's telling you exactly you can submit a request for reconsideration subject to the availability of funds. That's why you do not want to wait to get your appeals in. Do it as quickly as possible because funds only last for a period of time, and you never know when the funds may run out or the program ends. And we know the EIDL program ends December 31st of 2021. Okay, so then it says you can mail your request, you can fax it or email. I highly recommend you email it. That's the quickest way. Actually, I recommend you email it and fax it. And as a backup, you may even want to mail it. But I would not make the mail option your first option, okay? Because we know about snail mail. So when I did my reconsideration back in 2020, I sent my reconsideration in via email, and I also faxed it. And I have all the correspondence. The date I faxed it, the time, the stamp when it came back that it was approved, that somebody on the other side received it. you want to make sure you have that if you do fax it there. So that information is always on your letter, and it says your request must be what? In writing. So there's a way you must appeal. You can't just call them and say, okay, this is my appeal. You have to email the correct email address. So be in writing and be received by this office as soon as possible, but no later than 6 months from the date of the letter. So you have 6 months to appeal, but you're not going to wait 6 months because we don't ever know how long the funding is going to be available, and you don't want to be locked out because you just simply waited till it was too late. And it must contain all significant information that will overcome the decline or withdrawal. So many people, they request a deny and they're like, okay, I got denied. Well, first of all, there's so many people that don't even request, they don't even appeal. So let's appeal. And then they request a reconsideration or evaluation, and they're not clear on how to do it. Like what documents, what information to submit to support their position. You can't just say you're declining without a reason and then documentation to be able to back it up. Okay, so that's what they're going to be looking for. And then, it just goes on at the bottom, just say that, again, about challenging times, and for more information, where you can reach out to them. There's their website, which is www.sba.gov/local-assistance. But, there's information on the EIDL program on their website at sba.gov. But for this, you want to make sure that you're going through the process and emailing them with the information, making sure you have your application number. If you don't know your application number, you should. But if you don't, when you call them, ask for it. You need to have that every time you submit any information. Anytime the SBA submits any information regarding your application, they also include the loan, your application number. So you always want to keep your correspondence and then keep it and save it. I have all of mine saved to a specific file folder. Okay. So that was the letter, and just shout out to Monica for sharing that with us. So just again, as a reminder, you want to call the SBA, talk to Tier 2. The number is in the description and in the show notes of what you're going to call. For those that are gig workers, self-employed, independent contractors, this is very important. Those that use their Social Security number instead of an EIN, it is likely you will get a unverifiable information notice. So you want to make sure, again, that you're providing bank statements or invoice, transactional receipts, anything like that is going to show to them that you're in business. Even, a contract, a redacted contract, something that'll show that you've been in business. And then you need to, again, show that you've been in business for the amount of time, because this program, to qualify, you had to be in business as of January 31st of 2020. January 31st of 2020. There's also unverifiable information for a lot of new businesses. So if your business was started, you were in operation January, February of 2020, you weren't in business in 2019. That happened to us for our newest business, right? There's no real information out there. So it can be challenging to overcome that when they say, it's unverifiable. But again, the same paperwork and records that I mentioned here, you can provide to be able to show that you are indeed a business and you just didn't just make up a business. Okay. So that's what they're trying to determine and avoid. Some other documents they may ask you for, I said, driver's license, or passport, some identification of you. Tax returns, the 2202, which is the I think the statement of liability. So many people have asked me about that. We've done several videos. So if you want to appeal, we have a video on the reevaluation process. We have videos on the reconsideration process, taking you step by step on what to do to appeal. The 4506T, we know, is another major document where they're requesting your tax transcripts. You either need to e-sign it. For some of you all, they actually send it to you, ask you to fill it out, and then send it back to them, signed and dated. We didn't have to do that. It was already filled out by the SBA based on information we had already provided, and all we had to do was e-sign it, right? So again, it varies based on every applicant. Every applicant is different. Their circumstances, the information they provided or information they were able to get validated is different. Okay, so don't compare yourselves to others, because I've heard people do that throughout the pandemic and throughout the process, is that they're comparing their application to other people's application, and you don't know what their information is or if it's even correct, right? So focus on your own application, making sure that it satisfies the requirements that the SBA has set forth. Okay, so for those that's just tuning in, this is just a reminder. This is a short video. This is for denials due to unverified information. There's a lot of those, whether it's the targeted EIDL grant, the supplemental EIDL grant, the EIDL loan itself, or the loan modification to get an increase of your loan. So I see you all out there. I'm just going to check really quickly just to see if there's any major questions I can answer while I'm on air. If they're not, I always come back, so feel free to leave your questions in the comments, and I will return back and answer any that you have. Someone is saying that they never received a denial letter, and I know people that that's happened to. So I'm assuming if you didn't get a denial letter and you know you were denied, you either saw it in your portal, one, or you called and found out you were denied. Okay, it had to be one or the other. In either case, follow the same process. And when you call them, let them know that you were denied, but you never received any correspondence. Whether you approved or denied, the SBA has to send you correspondence regarding your determination. Okay, so you ask them to send that to you. They say substantiate my advance is more than the loan for the denial. Yeah, so if your advance is more than what you would qualify for a loan, that's congratulations to you, right? You wouldn't qualify for the loan because the grant is free money. It takes care of whatever you would have gotten, right? So the grant is up to $15,000, which we received. There was really no reason. Like, I could go after the loan if I wanted to, but there's no reason for me to do so. But they calculated, again, based on before it was 6 months of working capital. Now it's up to 24 months of working capital. If the calculation based on the income you provided is equal to or less than your grant, you would be denied, and it's okay. Okay. So for those people, it's okay because you got the grant. The grant is better anyway because you don't have to pay it back. Okay. Someone else is calling someone else called tier 2. They said that they have everything, now requesting more information from waiting for the EIDL grant to be submitted. I think she's saying that she called tier 2. They told me that they have everything and not asking anymore. So you definitely want to verify, because I know the SBA has had some mass has sent out some mass notices on errors before, and even as recent as like last week. So I'll come back on tomorrow to discuss that. I want this to be specifically regarding unverifiable information, but they did send out some mass denials. Okay, so they sometimes have internal issues that you get denied, and it's no fault of your own. It's an internal glitch. I've seen this happen in another program I applied for. I was denied, and I was able to overcome that denial. So you just have to keep fighting for the grant or the loan that you want. Know that there's alternative funding that is available. We talk about it we have several videos on that, and the information is in the show notes. So if you need alternative funding or funding to fill the gap while you're still waiting on that loan, or you're waiting on that increase, or you're waiting on that grant, there are opportunities for you as small business owners to get additional funding. So do check that out. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you know someone that's in this position that's been denied, please, again, do share our video, share our channel, because we have several videos on how to overcome denials. And we've helped hundreds, if not thousands, be able to overcome the denial, get approved, and get funded. That's what you want to do. Although we can't guarantee if you go through appeals process, you'll get funded. Okay. Every individual business is different, but go after it, fight for it. I've seen people go through it 2-3 times to get reconsidered. And after the second time or the third time, they got it. They got approved. Just make sure you're submitting as correct and complete information as possible the first time, so it doesn't continue to delay you being able to get access to your funding. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Continue to be the boss with Amplify Impact and continue to stay safe and in good health. Have a wonderful day.